Yes, it must have been taken from outside the house. OK, I'll bring the documents down tomorrow. All right, thanks very much. Bye-bye. You were right. It's been written off.
No sign of the driver?
None. What is it, Steve?
What time did you get over here this evening?
About an hour ago. Why? Why'd you ask?
I want to know I'm wrong to worry about who was driving that car.
You suspect me? I'm on trial.
Nobody said anything about being on trial.
Well, what would you call it? You look at me and you don't know.
Every part of me tells me that you're still you. But I saw the car. It was a burning wreck. Your car. What am I supposed to do? Shrug my shoulders and laugh at the coincidence?
No. Of course it isn't a coincidence. It's a setup. Gates has arranged it.
What for?
Well, for this. We don't trust each other anymore, and he knows that's our only strength.
I want to trust you. I really do.
But? I'm sorry. That's not good enough.
Oxygen. Mr. Boyd. Philip, can you hear me?
Blood pressure's dropping. It's really low.
Internal hemorrhage.
How long to the hospital, Arlene?
About 10 minutes.
BP's really getting low.
Okay, let's put a line up.
Nothing in your mother's behavior that night indicated that she was likely to have taken her own life.
If there had been anything at all, then I wouldn't have left her for a moment.
You mentioned a phone call which you feel may have disturbed her.
Yes. Yes, she had two. She had two visitors. Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Put your head
We'll adjourn for 30 minutes.
Charge, stand clear, shocking. Check pulse.
No pulse.
Still in VF. Charge 200. Stand clear, shocking. Still VF. He's in a systolic pattern.
Lost him. We've lost him.
How?
Gates.
Elizabeth Madigan was elderly and infirm, and undoubtedly was no longer capable of indicating her basic needs. The only clue that she may have been in some distress on the day of her death was her increasingly bizarre and disturbed behavior. My verdict is suicide while being of unsound mind.
Can you go to right?
Yes.
All right.
See the bleeding?
Yes, quite a show.
So one of them must have come to grief. If we can find out who, it gives us another way in.
What are you so excited about, Steve? The fact that Mary Madigan bled or that I didn't?
according to paramedics, Mr. Boyd showed no sign of any serious external injuries. He was an experienced light aircraft pilot. It was a routine crash landing. He banged his head, felt groggy, then fell unconscious, and in the ambulance he suffered a sudden deterioration.
And they had no idea why?
Well, that's my job, not theirs. I'll send you a full autopsy report.
It won't be necessary. The air crash involved a Ministry of Defence plane. The post-mortem is now a matter for Central Ops. We should be in charge of any autopsy.
And do you have the necessary authorization to remove Philip Boyd's remains?
I can't quite believe that we're sitting here arguing over a corpse like two butchers at a meat market.
Mr. Boyd died in an ambulance on his way to hospital. And unless you have a specific order from the Home Office, then I'm sorry, but he stays here.
I'm doing you a favour.
Thank you. I can do without your favors, Chief Superintendent.
I don't think you quite appreciate what you're getting into here. Philip Boyd was an important person.
You can be sure I shall treat him with the respect he deserves.
And when the news gets out that a chief executive of the Nuclear Research Institute died because of negligence and that there was an attempted cover-up by the pathologist...
My findings will be a matter of public record. Keeping secrets isn't something that corpses are good at. The accident victim is a male of 42 years, Philip Boyd. Since death, rigor has set in, and the victim is unusually discolored. His skin is purple, indicating internal bleeding. Other than that, there are no indications on his head or body as the cause of death. No lesions, no puncture wounds, no swelling to the front or back of the cranium. Simon.
In New York today, the new Japanese representative to the United Nations collapsed at a charity breakfast. His inaugural speech was cut short after he suffered a severe nosebleed and dizziness. 3 other members of the Security Council, including one top aide to the Russian president, suffered the same symptoms. An investigation is underway.
Listen.
Hello.
I was just going to call you. Have you heard the news?
Yes, earlier.
The nosebleeds would work out about the same time as Mary Madigan.
Madigan in the coroner's court, I know.
So, what triggered it? Another death?
Probably. Listen, we know that Elizabeth Madigan's death weakened Gates and Leonard for a few moments, even though she was at the bottom of their pile. Now, if we can get closer to the top, it might have a more devastating effect.
Yeah, or they might be better equipped to resist it.
Perhaps I'd better come in.
Yeah. I should bet I had.
An unusual and extreme internal deterioration has occurred since death.
You can say that again.
Pancreas, liver, and kidneys remain recognizable but are severely burnt. I must emphasize that this is not the damage associated with fire victims. The internal organs appear to have slowly cooked from the inside. Internal temperature?
There must be something wrong with this thermometer.
Reading?
49 degrees.
The deceased's internal body temperature has risen 12 degrees Celsius since death. You
don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
No, I want to. It's important. When I was in Zaire, it was my 20th assignment in 10 years. I'd taken a picture of a mother cradling her dead baby in her arms. When she saw the camera, she just flew at me. In a rage of grief and anger, and when I got back, I didn't want to use the picture. I felt it was wrong.
Why then? You must have intruded on grief before.
An hour after she'd spoken to me, the mother and the child stepped on a landmine, died instantly. She knew the landmine was there.
Did you explain this to Joanna?
Well, I'd already filed it, but she promised she wouldn't use it. And then she went ahead and published it anyway. I can't explain it, but it felt like a real betrayal. Since then, I found it impossible to trust anyone. I'm really sorry I didn't trust you.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Now, you always frown before you smile. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Okay, slow down. It's Sarah Armstrong, the pathologist from the Wilson inquest. Are you sure? What now? Okay, we can meet you there. No, it's no problem. Yeah, we'll be there in half an hour. Fine. Okay, bye.
Normal on the outside and burnt on the inside. The lab assistants have nicknamed him Microwave Man.
Who was he?
Philip Boyd, bigwig, the Nuclear Research Institute. He's got some police connections, too.
Chief Superintendent Gates.
That's the one. He turned up here earlier, said Boyd was a police matter, and the police pathologist should conduct the autopsy.
I take it you didn't agree?
Never come between a pathologist and a corpse.
How do you explain it?
I can't. Not yet. It was some sort of shock. I've never come across it before. His skin wasn't punctured. There's nothing broken. He wasn't injured.
Can we take a look at him?
Greg? What's going on?
I thought you knew the body was released to the police.
Wait a minute. You handed it over?
Yeah, about half an hour ago. I didn't have any choice.
I never authorized this.
Paperwork was in order. It was signed by the coroner.
Greg!
So what do we do now?
We go public.
Do you mind telling me who gave permission to move Philip Boyd's remains?
I did. I think you'd better sit down, Sarah.
Philip Boyd was working on the very edges of our understanding of nuclear fusion. We think he may have come into contact with certain materials that caused his body to react to the trauma of the accident in that unusual way.
Like the driver who stole your car?
We don't know that now, do we?
Well, I'm sure the lab cultures will help us explain the reaction.
I'm afraid, Miss Armstrong, your role in the post-mortem is over.
Hang on. 2 men implode after accidents, and you want me to pretend it hasn't happened?
Sarah, I'll have to insist.
What is this?
The Official Secrets Act. You'll sign it, we'll witness it, and then we'll know where we stand.
And if someone asks about the autopsy I conducted?
Deny everything, admit nothing.
What if I don't sign?
What's the going rate for a struck-off pathologist these days?
Philip Boyd was a government scientist and a policy advisor. His special interest was the effects of mineral mining in the Antarctic and the breakdown of the treaty.
Was he for or against?
He was against all mineral mining until about 6 months ago. In fact, he and another top researcher pretty much had the whole argument sewn up.
So what happened to change his mind?
Oh, it might have been one of those accidents you're so fond of. The victimless deaths.
We were right, he'd been renewed. That would explain the autopsy results.
He'd been what?
He seems to die and then he comes back alive, renewed, changed.
He's changed, all right. His about turn allowed the British government to get into bed with the Yanks and screw the treaty, all ends up.
Can you get any more information?
Not today, I can't know. Computer's caught a cold, whole system's down.
You use Zentex?
Who doesn't?
You said there were 2 scientists opposing the breakdown of the Antarctic Treaty.
Yes. The other man's name is Gerald Ryle. He's senior at the Nuclear Research Institute. He's still calling for a reinstatement of the treaty and a ban on oil exploration. He's even threatening to take it to the UN.
Will he get anywhere?
Well, he can make a nuisance of himself. Slow down any expansion in the program, that sort of thing.
I think we may have found who the next target is. Can you get us an in with this Gerald Ryle character?
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm going to use my name and contact so you can go and ask this guy if he's seen any suspicious footprints at the bottom of the garden.
All right, look at it this way. If we get anything juicy, we give you an exclusive.
You always did know the way to my heart.
How long do you think you can carry on working here?
I'm sorry.
Well, you've threatened to go to the UN to get the Antarctic Treaty restored. Yet this place is the leading research institute for Antarctic gas and oil. It won't be easy to stay in a place where you're so out of step.
Oh, science is a history of debates, disagreements. It's how we progress.
Well, this is more than a disagreement, isn't it? According to what you said on television, all our futures are at stake.
Look, will you stop sticking that blasted thing in my face?
Sorry, I didn't realise it was annoying you.
I'm not comfortable with all this business. Can we just get it over with?
Okay. We want to know if you've been threatened in any way.
Threatened? How do you mean?
Has any pressure been put upon you by, say, James Wilson?
I really have no idea what you're talking about.
Philip Boyd.
How dare you come in here and talk about Philip like that? Have you people no respect?
Listen.
You're not from a newspaper at all, are you?
Professor Ryle, we think you're in danger.
If you just let us explain.
I don't have the time. Just get out. Get out.
Professor Ryle.
No.
Hi, Jerry. Have the Philip Boyd tissue cultures been processed yet? No, there's no hurry. I need them. They weren't properly tagged. Yeah, I'll come and pick them up. Thanks.
Now over to our reporter at the Atlantic Conference in Brussels, where there is some controversy about oil exploration.
There is certainly a deep division among the member states regarding the effect of oil exploration on this natural wasteland. Traditionally, the whole of the Antarctic has been regarded as a virtual no-go area for industrial development and an area of huge ecological importance. But after today's high-level conference, it would appear that after 40 years of cooperation, there are those now willing to take the risk. Britain now seems to be at the head of that group, with its territorial claims fully supported by the US government, and rumours of further cooperation and profit-sharing if and when these proposals are put into operation. Outside the conference, a few official voices have been heard in protest. But ironically, it is those self-same qualities which have made the Antarctic such a mecca for international scientists, which are now attracting the international fuel companies. Supporters of this initiative insist that there is a huge geological heritage waiting beneath the ice cap, a heritage which can only benefit the planet as a whole, and which will service its fuel needs well into the next millennium. In a world short on time, low on stocks, and hungry for energy, that is indeed a powerful argument. The pro-fuel lobby are offering computer projections and scientific fieldwork to back up their claims, but their opponents disagree. In an impromptu meeting earlier today, Greenpeace and other environmental groups warned that we exploit this wilderness at our peril.
Saline solution.
I think that's what killed him.
Wasn't given any other medicines, penicillin, painkillers.
Not unless the paramedics were lying to cover their backs, and they've got no reason to do that. He was picked up, seemed mildly concussed, no sign of any other injuries. They just followed standard practice. Oxygen, blood pressure reading, and put a line in to counter fluid loss.
Have you ever come across saline solution doing this before?
No, and I can't find any evidence of it happening anywhere else. First thing I did was to check his blood for antigens. It didn't correspond with any group. After that, I knew I was in for some more surprises.
What if he isn't human?
What?
That's why he reacted the way he did. That's why his blood group doesn't exist. Because he isn't human.
This is some sort of wind-up, right?
Look at the evidence.
I am. I shouldn't be showing you this. They're saying that he was exposed to some sort of radiation, like the Wilson case.
The cover-up, the reason he reacted the way he did is because he isn't human.
Blake, telephone call for you on line 1. Just pick it up.
Hello?
Steve, Gerald Ryle called. Something's happened. He's gone into hiding.
What?
He wants to meet you.
What now?
Seemed pretty urgent.
Okay, I'll be right there.
I don't know.
It must be this way.
Whatever the force that held me on that railway line, it was greater than my will. My body was no longer my own. I can't explain why it was happening.
I think I can.
When you came to me at the Institute, what made you think I was in danger?
Your colleagues. You were making a lot of noise opposing the breakdown of the Antarctic Treaty.
That was inconvenient to a group of very powerful people.
We'd seen how they'd been treated when they made similar objections.
You're suggesting that people I work with have been through similar experiences?
We're suggesting they didn't come through the other side like you did.
Well, I won't be any trouble to them anymore. I intend to resign.
You have to go back to work. Someone has to stay there to try and reverse the decision.
No, you don't understand. It's a free-for-all now. They've already moved on to nuclear testing.
Nuclear? That doesn't make any sense. What would be the point of a nuclear power station down there?
Not power, weapons. They're going to test nuclear weapons in the Antarctic.
Must be nice to have friends you can run away to.
The house belongs to my brother. I just needed to feel safe.
You're safe. Just keep your head down and don't agitate.
Until when?
Until you and I can get to the media.
You really think that's the only way?
I know it is.
All right.
I'll set it up.
From what Ra was saying, it sounds as if they started to accelerate. Are you sure we can't get at the computer software?
Well, how? No, our only hope is if Joanna can set up this TV interview with Ryle.
Why, Steve?
I've got to get some air.
What if Joanna can't help us, Steve? We know what saline solution does to them. If we can attack someone at the heart of things, someone we can get access to, if Gates goes, then maybe we can cripple the whole network.
Well, you're suggesting we attack Gates?
He's the obvious target, and we know I can get close to him.
It's too dangerous. Now, you're not thinking rationally.
You think this is personal?
I know how much you want to destroy him. I understand how you might want to kill your husband's murderer.
This isn't to do with my past.
Isn't it?
No. Yes, I don't know.
Listen, look, I know what you feel.
No, you don't know anything about me. You can't tell me how I feel. All right. You can't tell me what I feel.
I'm going to pretend I don't know how you intend to use these. Do you really know what you're doing?
Turning back isn't an option. And I don't think you'd be helping us if you thought it was.
This is the strongest concentration that we use. If my theory's correct, one syringe should be enough to do the damage. Either way, I don't recommend you hang around to see the result. Steve said something to me. He said these people, Boyd, Wilson, he said they weren't human. Do you believe that?
I believed it long before Steve.
Does that mean what you're doing isn't murder?
What I'm doing is necessary.
I've arranged to pick up Ryle, be on the safe side. He still needs a bit of persuading.
Can't blame him. It's not just his reputation he's risking, is it?
Look, Ryle's testimony really could be crucial. It could be the only thing we need.
We have to do all we can. Attack them with everything, exactly what they'll do to us if they get the opportunity.
Okay.
Well, if I don't, everything that we've done will have been wasted.
I know. I'm still asking you not to go.
And do what? Pray this'll all go away. You have to remember why we started on all this.
Because then I had nothing to lose.
Now, you and Gerald Ryle need to be at the TV studio no later than 10:15. You go out live, so I hope you're feeling relaxed, confident. Try not to bite your nails.
I'll do my best.
Have you ever seen Mark Knowles' programme?
Once or twice.
He's something of a wet dream for the ABC ones, but he's good. He's tough and he's sarcastic, so you can expect a rough ride. I've told him you know what you're talking about.
Do you believe that?
You think I say what I actually believe? What kind of madness is this?
Oh, cut the crap. Do you believe this conspiracy exists outside my head?
I wouldn't have got you on this show if I didn't. I think more of you than that. I always did.
I thought for a moment you were going to stand me up.
I thought that was always more your trick, wasn't it? Thank you.
Drink?
Thank you, yes. I think I need one.
Oh, come on, I'm hardly going to bite.
I'm sure you're not. I just know I've got a lot of apologising to do, that's all. The night Sweethope disappeared. That was the biggest thing that had ever happened to you, and I hadn't shared it with you.
And if you had, would it have made a difference?
I must have been jealous. I was outside all the fuss, the publicity. I felt excluded. I think that's when I started to make up stories.
How do I know you're not making up a story tonight? How do I know you've really changed your mind about me?
Because I'm not afraid of you anymore.
Here's to new beginnings.
Cheers.
It's good to see you.
Wish I could say the same.
Has anybody tried to warn you off doing this?
No, they've been ominously quiet.
I still can't quite get over the suddenness of this change.
You've got Steve Blake to thank for that.
Well, that's a turn-up. I thought he was too busy pouring poison into your ear. His conspiracy theories are even more fanciful than yours.
Or maybe it took someone as fanatical as Blake for me to realise how far from the truth I'd actually strayed. Pretty unflattering reflection.
And what made you so certain he was wrong?
All the stuff in the computer software factory. I mean, if anyone had wanted to destroy him, why didn't they do it there and then?
Exactly. Why didn't he just disappear in an accident, or get blasted by lasers, or whisked away by flying saucers?
When he couldn't explain it, I started to doubt myself. I didn't want to admit it at the time, but I knew I was wrong.
Yeah, well, the trouble with the Steve Blakes of this world is they're parasites, and they bleed hope from anybody they come into contact with. And the worst thing of all is they never know when they're dancing to someone else's tune.
What do you mean?
It's my theory that Steve Blake's being used, just as he was using you.
Well, now he's peddling conspiracies.
You don't honestly believe that Steve Blake is working alone. He's far too lightweight, too much of a loser. If he was a man alone, he'd be a fly that needed swatting.
It only takes one fanatic to change history, that's what you always used to say.
Well, Steve Blake's gonna change nothing.
Excuse me. I'll be back in a moment.
I thought I might turn up tonight and find you gone.
It crossed my mind.
Well, I'm glad you stayed put. May not feel like the right decision now, but I promise you it is.
The end of the world is debated on an upmarket chat show. If that's really what we've come to, it makes you wonder if we're worth saving, doesn't it?
I'll walk you to the car.
Never been one to refuse a police escort.
You know what hurt me most about your breakdown? I could see you were in pain, but I couldn't get through to you. Don't look so scared.
Am I? I'm sorry, Philip. I think things are moving too fast for me.
That's okay.
Oh, bloody keys. They must be in here somewhere.
They're all the same. Here, let me.
No, really, I can...
Later tonight, we hear from two men who will be making claims that could rock the government. They have evidence of a conspiracy that threatens each and every one of us. Or so they say. But first, a very different story. The government published a white paper today.
Ladies will look after you.
Its opponents will open the way to widespread pollution for water tables.
Good luck.
They're new sites for
Perhaps we don't need luck anymore.
recently from all sides of the house. But now it seems to have gained a remarkable new lease of life.
This is Sarah Armstrong. If Steve or Melissa are there, could you please call me as soon as possible? I'm at the Path Lab. It's urgent. And please call.
You're asking us to believe some incredible things here.
I agree. I think they're incredible too. Unfortunately, they happen to be true.
According to you. You took this photo underwater at Sweethope off the Norfolk coast. How long ago?
2 weeks.
But it's not there now.
No, an explosion destroyed the site straight after the dive.
That was rather unlucky, wasn't it?
It was deliberately detonated by a corrupt police officer from Central Operations, Chief Superintendent Philip Gates.
Well, I wish I was your lawyer, Steve, because I think that allegation just earned him a fortune. I mean, it seems to me you're accusing people on a terribly flimsy basis. What evidence have you got?
Well, out of the 122 survivors from Sweethope, apparent survivors, over 60% of them are now in very, very high positions.
Gallagher here.
Yep. I would ask, who are these people?
Are you sure? When? Yes, of course I'll talk to him. Check the PA, there's a big one breaking. Who? Yes, Dave Gallagher here. I understand. And where exactly are you at the moment?
What's going on?
Touch two.
Sure this isn't some firework fanatics wet dream?
I doubt it. That was the county fire chief I was just speaking to. Is it through on the PA?
Yeah, it's coming through now. This stuff's incredible.
Get onto the newsroom. I want personal confirmations, eyewitnesses, top-notch commentators, whoever you can get your hands on.
Somebody might tell me
we
what's
need a
going on.
reporter. Who's that?
John Davidson.
Get him down here fast. Yes.
Steve Blake's background is in newspapers. We're used to newspapers making things up. They do it every day. But scientists aren't in the habit of lying, are they, Mr. Ryle?
No, we wouldn't knowingly falsify results.
So when I was told that you, a senior government science advisor, were willing to come on national television to back up Steve Blake on the truth of this conspiracy, I sat up and took notice.
Back him up?
I understood there'd been an attempt on your life which convinced you that...
My car broke down on a level crossing. I panicked. I'd hardly call it an attempt on my life. Stupid, perhaps.
You have doubts about Steve Blake's claims?
I have more than doubts. I refute his claims completely.
Steve, this is a man who's on your side. Is this as staunch as your allies get?
Well, he's obviously not an ally anymore. It's clear what's happened here. This is proof.
Why didn't Ryle
Proof of what,
bleed?
exactly? Proof that renewal
Why
is
didn't
an
Steve
ongoing
see
process.
Ryle bleed?
Renewal? What's renewal?
Replication, cloning, the changing, the alteration, the transferring of somebody.
Cloning? I see.
Hello? How soon can we get someone there? Get someone there now.
So we interrupt Knowles, yeah? Media News reckon they've got the pictures.
How can they, unless they planted a frigging bomb?
I wouldn't put it past them.
John, you got the story?
Just the one copy, yeah.
Have you read it?
I've read it, but I'm not sure I believe it.
Believe it. Here's the latest. It's still coming through. Can you handle it?
Sure.
Good, because we need you down on the studio floor now.
Okay. Dave, Media News offering the pictures £200.
Oh, trust those bastards will exclusively know the world. Yes. That's fine. I'm authorised.
Get Carol back in here as well, can you?
Soon are we going to get someone out there?
What, you volunteering to go and bathe in fallout, are you?
John!
So there is no conspiracy, Mr. Ryle?
None at all. I find it ludicrous. I know is that recent developments and research opportunities
Not
on
yet.
our Antarctic program have stirred up quite a bit of negative criticism, not always from entirely reputable sources. As scientists working at the very forefront of energy exploration, we've learned to expect a certain fanaticism from opponents who, quite frankly, would be more afraid of the dark ages. But this particular story of Mr. Blake's beggars even my belief.
Are you saying that Steve Blake is a fanatic?
Let's just say I think he's misled. Dangerously misled.
Steve, you heard that accusation?
This is rubbish. This is rubbish.
I've got Mary Madigan on line 3. She's prepared to make
What
a
are we
statement.
going to do without pictures? Got a feeling an artist's impression of a nuclear meltdown isn't going to play.
We got them. Northern Police Chief. They're piping them down.
Yes!
Let's see what we've got. Cost us an arm and a leg, but hey, no party without punch.
That's some punch.
You might as well say that the people who were connected with the Kennedy assassination mysteriously died 10 years afterwards. If you look at this statistically, you'll find
Okay.
this is not
Interrupt Knowles.
coincidental.
They got you, didn't they?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If we could just get back to the subject under discussion.
How did they find you? I should never have left you on your own.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to interrupt you for an important news flash. Apparently there's been a serious accident at Sizewell Nuclear Power Station. John Davidson has the story.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, early reports are still coming in of a major incident at the Sizewell B reactor in Suffolk. Eyewitnesses talk about a huge fireball erupting into the sky at about 10:44 this evening.
Okay.
Nobody knows yet the cause of the explosion, but the police haven't ruled out a terrorist attack. The risk from radioactive fallout is thought to be minimal, as long as sensible precautions are
Would you
taken.
like to come back to the room?
Police are advising those within a 50-mile limit to stay indoors, but emphasise that the situation is containable.
Yeah, the bastards finally got you, didn't they?
Let's just say I can see things for what they are.
And this is part of it, is it?
A small step in the right direction. This is your wake-up call. Disconnect this.
What?
The emergency services are out in force and are struggling to control the blaze.
Yeah. Steve, where are you?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Chief Inspector Gates
Are you watching?
on the scene,
Yeah.
supervising the police operation.
It's Gates.
I thought he was dead. I thought you'd killed him.
So did I.
Could be engendered in the local population. There's talk
Steve, listen.
of a nuclear
Sarah Armstrong's been on the phone. She says she's got the answer. She's discovered where we're going wrong.
Yeah, well, we don't need her to tell us we brought the sky down upon us.
You think they blew up Sizewell out of revenge?
I don't know. Listen, I'll meet you at Sarah's as soon as I can. There's someone I've got to see first.
Who?
Joanna. She's the only one who can help us now.
Police are saying they have containment of any nuclear fallout, so there is no danger to the public. But obviously the police are urging people to keep away from the Sizewell area. I think John has the exclusion area around Sizewell, do we?
We don't actually have that yet, Mark, but I can confirm that
Joanna!
Steve, what are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm offering you an exclusive.
I can't talk now. You can see what's going on.
And I can tell you why it's happening. I can tell you who's behind it. I can tell you it's going to keep on happening.
I'll give you 5 minutes.
Oh, why so generous?
Make that 3.
You've got to listen to me, Joanna.
I watched your comeback, Steve, and I have to say I was not impressed.
The reason I was shamed on the Knowles programme is precisely because I was right. Can't you see that? Ryle had been renewed.
Do you expect me to believe that?
Take a close look at the copper in charge of the inquiry. It'll be Gates. And the reason it'll be Gates is because he knows how to bury the reasons it's happened
This
better
is as
than
far as
anybody
it
else.
goes,
When
Steve.
were my instincts ever wrong? Just tell me. Once.
That was then, Steve. That was before.
I'm the same person I always was. If you just wake up and see that.
No, Steve. Do you realise how far I've gone down the road for you? Because it's you.
Well, so you're just humouring me. You're just doing me a favour.
I wanted to believe that you hadn't lost your touch. I wanted to believe that we could work together again.
Same old Joanna never took a risk in her life unless I took 10 times a risk first. What?
The computers are down. Shit, that's all I need.
What software do you use?
Zentex.
Exactly. Zentex is owned by the Leonards. More Sweethope survivors.
News still seems to be coming in of some kind of terrorist attack. Chief Superintendent Philip Gates, who is heading up this inquiry, had this to say.
The explosion succeeded because the computer-operated security system was sabotaged.
Have you any ideas who did it?
One man in particular we would like to assist us with our inquiries.
What's his name?
Stephen Blake. We do have a picture of him.
You honestly think I'd be
Steve
responsible for
Blake. We'd
that?
like to interview this man as soon as possible in connection with this terrorist act. He is dangerous and may be armed. Do not, I repeat, do not approach him. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's all. I'm sorry.
Call security. What? Call security.
Let's take a look at that photograph again. Steve Blake, the major suspect in this affair. As you've just heard,
don't
police
come near
were
me.
quite clear.
What,
that
you
this
think
is a
what?
very-
You calm down.
Take it easy.
Calm
down. We'll keep you updated on any progress there. Now,
What? Third floor. Third floor. Armed terrorists. Move!
Something tells me you're going to need a new secretary.
You're going to need a new career. Come on. I've got a lot of favours to call in. I'm going to get someone to listen.
Just do what you can.
I'll do better than that, I promise. Come on! Take the stairs. Take the stairs, go on! Go. Quick! He's on the roof! He's on the roof!
Where is she? Newsroom. Third floor.
Third floor.
Good night, sir.
It has, of course, been both interesting and useful. Very, very useful. But now I'm afraid that they...
Yes. They know too much.
Too much. It's time we reeled them in.
Reel them in. I understand. Leave it with me.
Yes. Good. Good.
Am I glad to see you? I've been trying to get hold of you to warn you. I've been checking the medical records of some of the other Sweethope survivors. 2 of them died last year, the same story as Philip Boyd. Minor accidents, no serious injuries, sudden collapse after treatment. But they weren't treated with saline solution.
So why did Boyd die?
Certainly the saline solution didn't help. But I think what actually killed him was pure oxygen.
Oxygen? How?
The only substance I could find in common with the other victims. I mean, oxygen is given as a matter of course by paramedics.
That's what Elizabeth Madigan was trying to tell me the day before she died.
Sorry?
Well, she said we cannot share your air. We must breathe our own. Maybe they can only survive in an atmosphere that has carbon in the air. What if they need an atmosphere with an even lower oxygen content and even higher pollutants?
Well,
They're going to be partying tonight then, aren't they?
More reports of copycat attacks are coming in from around the world. A short while ago on this program, we heard from our Washington correspondent, Jeremy Gill. Apparently, the authorities are now saying that it was a coordinated...
Maybe we should...
No.
Steve will get here.
Meanwhile, the death toll continues to rise in what is, after all, a very densely populated area. And I believe we're just getting pictures through from the Yagamaki reactor in Japan. Our Far East correspondent, Stephen Gowdy, is on the line. Hello, Stephen. Stephen, are you there?
Yes, Andrew, and I can hear you, and as you can probably see on your screens right now, the scale of this disaster is still unfolding. The local population have been particularly badly hit with the hospital.
All units ready for you now, sir. Alpha unit on line 1.
Gates to Alpha Unit. Gates to Alpha Unit, over. Alpha Unit receiving, sir.
Response to the Sizewell incident is still coming in. James Wilson of British Nuclear Power has repeated his claim that the media is whipping the country into a state of mass psychosomatic illness, while Sir James Buchanan, speaking on behalf of the opposition...
Yeah, we've picked up the suspect on the A11, sir, pursuing him. Do you want us to pull him over?
No, just follow him for now.
Very good, sir. He's going round again. You flaming pillar! Alpha Unit, sir, we've lost him at the Posic roundabout.
You'll find him on the B1065.
Yeah, well, that takes him back on himself, sir.
B1065 heading north. See what you can do. He's taken the Windmill Lane turn.
Very good, sir. Gates do that. Has he got an eye in the sky or something?
They've bugged the car. They've bugged the car. He's off the road. Blake's off the road. Look for the Thompson's Quarry sign.
Thompson Quarry. This guy's better than Uri Geller.
I hope he's good at bending metal, because he's going to play Mario with my suspension.
Where is he? Come on. He's near water. He's near water.
What's he on about? He's right.
I wonder if he does racing tips.
We've located the suspect's car, sir. No sign of the suspect right now. No sign at all, sir. Could be anywhere, sir.
He must be there. Find him.
Perhaps you could be a bit more specific, sir.
He's at the quarry. Don't leave until you find him.
Any sign of the suspect? See things? Too dark out here. Around the other side.
That'll be £76.50, mate.
It's a bit steep, isn't it?
Double rate after midnight and during national emergencies.
By the way, somebody's left their suitcases in the back.
They're mine, mate. I'm off out of it.
Keep the change.
Oxygen.
It makes sense, Steve. We had the right plan, but the wrong weapon. We were right that an attack weakens all of them.
I remain to be convinced about this psychic network.
Well, how else do you explain the simultaneous nosebleeds that happened when Elizabeth Madigan died?
I don't know. Coincidence? Mass hysteria?
No, exactly the same thing happened with Philip Boyd's death.
And it's happening all over the world. When one of them dies, they're all weakened.
It's not much of an Achilles heel, but it's all we have. If enough of them die simultaneously...
Do you realise how crazy this all sounds?
Well, it's not just that. What about the Zentex connection?
Software collapses from time to time. It can get infected with viruses. We all know that.
Okay, so how do you explain the autopsy results you did, the tissue cultures you examined?
I don't know. Yet.
Oxygen. That's it. Of course, that's why they couldn't find me.
Have I missed something?
When I was hiding from them, I was underwater. I was breathing nitrox. Nitrox is high in pure oxygen. It must have interfered with their tracking device.
Hang on, what tracking device?
Every move I've made, they've been there first. To begin with, I thought it was the car that was bugged, but it has to be me.
They've bugged you? What with?
I don't know. You tell me.
When did you last use the oxygen?
4 hours ago.
So if your theory is right, they can
pick me up again. They'll know where I am now.
Slow down a bit. Who knows?
Philip Gates.
We've got it.
He knows we're here. He knows where we are.
There's no back way, a fire escape, anything.
What's the point, Steve? We'll never get to my car now.
Here. Use mine.
Parked around the side. Use the small door behind reception. Wait. You better take this. Take it easy. It won't last forever.
Thanks.
Save your breath.
Shut it down. You know what he looks like.
Shut it down.
You stay here. I'll go collect.
And keep your eyes open.
It's Ferguson. Can't get to the car.
What now?
Can I help you? Have you lost something?
Where are they?
Where are who?
They won't get far. I'd really like to know why they came here at all.
It's a bit like smoking ultra mild.
So what is it that you had to offer them?
They came to me for explanations
Of what?
of why a man should die and come back to life, of why the death of one should affect so many, and above all, they wanted to know why someone's internal organs were burnt to a cinder when he had suffered no apparent injury.
The autopsy. I believe the whole event's on video.
Standard practice. It's here if you want to take it. There are also some tissue cultures.
I didn't know you'd taken them.
Normal procedure.
And you have examined them. All in the interest of science, of course.
All pretty inconclusive stuff. I'm sure your boys could do better. Will that be all?
I think it will, until we question the suspects themselves.
You'll never guess what they said about you. They think you're an alien.
The sooner we get that pair out of harm's way.
You know, their theories intrigue me. Science is full of imponderables. Even Isaac Newton described himself as a child playing on the shore.
Well, I'd hardly call their ravings theories, would you?
Perhaps they're searching for a way to explain the inexplicable. Like all good scientists.
But you don't believe them.
Of course not. But I do like to keep an open mind. So I wonder, purely in the interest of science, would you mind taking a few breaths of this? It's only oxygen.
I'm Joanna Ball. I've come to see Oliver James. I'm afraid Mr. James is in a meeting at the moment, with another one lined up right behind.
Who's expecting me? Gerald Cranley Thomas has already called.
It could be hours.
I'll wait.
Yes?
Let's get moving.
Is he online?
Not yet, but he wants to be found.
Bases have been put on full alert. The Prime Minister said in the
So if
Commons...
you're out there, it's probably hot. And also, that's the A11 in Cambridgeshire, and all roads leading south and west. Heavy congestion amounting to total gridlock in many areas. And now over to Christine with the weather report.
We should turn round. The longer it takes us to get to London, the more likely we are
No,
to
we gotta
drop
get to
down.
Joanna. She promised to go to the top. They'll believe her. She promised.
I don't trust her.
What?
Why do you think she's doing all this?
This isn't about us. Now turn off here.
What?
Here, turn off here. Look, there's a phone box. You can call Joanna. Pull over.
It's not working.
Stupid kids.
What now?
We find another one.
I can't see one. Can you see one? I can't see one anywhere.
Look, there's telephone lines. Follow the telephone lines. Must be a house or a shop or something.
It's closed.
There's a phone. Actually, you better do this.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, NPI newspapers.
Yeah, could I speak to Joanna Ball, please?
I'm afraid she's not here at the moment.
Oh, I see. Well, could you ask her to ring me on this number? 01263 511 990.
90.
Yeah, my name is Melissa Gates. Can you please tell her that it's very important?
Right, I'll give her the message on her return.
Yeah, thanks very much. She's going to call back.
I gathered. Thanks for making the call.
Could hardly have you saying I'm Britain's most wanted and here's my daytime number. Could we?
Oh, howdy.
Sleep in the ambulance. Take the oxygen with you. I'll come and get you when she calls back.
I might just do that.
Is this how you imagined the world would end?
Well, hold up in the backwoods of Norfolk in a long-forgotten station. No, I think I can safely say that is not what I had planned.
And did you see yourself holding a camera rather than an oxygen cylinder?
Taking photographs of the end of the world. Yeah, that's about the measure of me.
The you that was or the you that you are now?
Same thing.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I couldn't have...
You couldn't have what?
Nothing.
You couldn't have what?
I couldn't have fallen in love with the Steve Blake you used to be. Oh, forget it. Forget I said anything.
You don't mean it?
Of course I meant it. I don't want poetry, I don't want flowers, but I would like you to tell me how you feel.
And what? I would have thought that was obvious. I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
I'm sorry.
He's ready to see you now.
She's told us what to do.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you more news of the incident
Oi,
at
oi,
Sizewell
niente
Beach.
fela tutto. Ne parlo lì musichi. Ecim bravo, torare dall'Ittera.
Scared as I am.
They're on our side.
Answer the question.
Petrified.
Halt! Stand still and state your business.
Steve Blake, I was told to come here.
Advance and show your ID. One moment, sir. Watch it. Drive through, you're expected. Follow Captain Hindle, he'll show you through, sir.
Do you hear that? Commissaire.
Leave the keys in the vehicle, please, sir. Follow me. Wait here.
Steve! They said you'd arrived. You look terrible.
Thank you.
Don't say I never do anything for you, will you? Come on. We can't afford to waste any time. I moved a fair bit of heaven and earth to get through to this guy.
That's noted.
How did you get them to believe you?
I didn't have to. Turns out the MOD had been monitoring Gates for the last 6 months.
What? What if they knew? Why didn't they act?
Apparently they decided to use him to smoke out anyone else involved.
And they did nothing?
They didn't expect the Sizewell attack to come so early. They think that was down to you.
Well, glad I could help.
It wasn't much help.
I know.
You can start to relax now, Steve. It's nearly over.
Who did you get to ghost my story?
I thought you could give me first option on that. It's good to have you back.
Do sit down, I shan't be a minute.
Steve?
It's nothing, it's just the headaches are back with interest.
I'm delighted to meet you. It really is very good to meet you both. We've been monitoring your efforts for some time now, and I have to say I'm most impressed. The nation will owe you a debt of gratitude when all this blows over.
Well, it's good to be somewhere safe.
It doesn't get much safer. Please, do sit down. No.
Could you tell us who you are exactly? Joanna seemed rather hazy.
My job isn't the sort you go shouting about. I'm military intelligence, head of special operations. At least that's one of my functions. I was brought in 6 months ago to look at the Gates situation at Central Ops and found, as you are aware, there was more to the whole thing than a police cover-up. Much more.
I see.
It must have been very hard for you, Melissa. Personal tragedy as well. Destiny. Of course, I only know the basic facts.
It's been difficult, yes.
Given the seriousness of the situation, we need all the information we can get on Gates and the others. Whatever you tell us will help us immensely to devise our future strategy.
Well, it's where to start, really. It's difficult to put things in place.
Whenever you're ready, Stephen. In your own good time.
Come on, Steve, you've told it often enough.
Let me try and fill in with some of what we know already. We know that the invasion is international, that the Sweethope incident was replicated in one form or another in various parts of the world. We believe that the invaders are not exactly human.
Well, we agree so far.
Right. We know that they are experts at infiltrating human technology, and that they seem to have a collective mentality which may give them certain shared weaknesses.
So what's it all for? What are they doing here?
Infiltrating key posts so they can stage a major nuclear detonation in the Antarctic. And this, of course, would destroy the ozone layer and melt the ice caps. An irradiated flood would destroy our civilization and make space for them.
And you know who they are, do you?
In a way, we all do. They're our past catching up with us. We believe they've been here before.
When?
About 5 billion years ago. Their biological makeup is remarkably similar to the first life forms on Earth. When oxygen changed the atmosphere, they couldn't survive.
But they can now.
20th century pollution seems to have done the trick. We've invited them back, so to speak. Well, Stephen, what have you to tell us?
I'm just trying to iron things out in my head. No, I don't know. Can I have a drink?
Please.
Okay.
It's important to me that I get this right. I'm trying to get this right. It's where to start is. I think I have to start from the beginning. This all started before I met Melissa. I was involved in an accident with James Wilson, which I witnessed. My first instincts about this whole thing was so muddy.
Steve, it's a trap! It's Gates!
Steve! Come on! To talk!
Down!
They're going down. They're in the lift and they're going down.
They're heading for the bunker. Total shutdown.
Total shutdown, sir?
Total shutdown. I want the whole base on Alpha Alert. No way out.
Alpha Alert! This is an Alpha
This must be the basement. Try now.
No, locked.
Try now. Now.
It won't open. It won't open.
I told you wanted to be cool.
Way out. There must be a way out.
There is no way out. We're in a bunker.
It's Gates.
This is as far as it goes, Stephen.
Stay where you are! Well, very primitive, Steve. Very early Homo sapiens.
Stay back! Stay back! What are you going to do with that axe, Steve? Gonna kill us all?
Come on. Don't make it messier than it needs to be.
Get back!
So this is what it's come to. After all the invention, all the progress, all the arrogance, you're reduced to facing your nemesis with an axe. I think we arrived at the right time. Mankind has run out of ideas.
No! And you were so close, Stephen. So very, very close. If only you'd realized we're not infallible. We can be beaten.
But instead of beating us, you chose to help us. You know it's true. Cartwright, Ryle, Joanna. You led us to every one of them. Even Sarah Armstrong.
What have you done to Sarah?
Ever wondered about those headaches, Steve?
Painful, but necessary.
You see, Steve, you're already one of us.
You can't make me believe that.
Why not make it official, Steve? Come on. Come to us.
Come to us.
No!
She doesn't come with you. I don't think you've got any choice in the matter, Steve.
Even if you kill me, it's not over. If I can figure you out, so can others!
You can't defeat evolution, and that's what this is. Right now, we're almost there. This is the end game.
We're not good. We're not bad. We're your destiny.
Your destiny. Do you know what defeated you in the end? Your imagination. You couldn't believe an invasion like this could ever happen. What were you expecting? Little green men? We're just like you.
It's our turn now.
Come on, Steve. Come on. Come and join Joanna.
Never! No!
Of key industrialism and leading
Bien qu'aucune organisation terroriste n'ait revendiqué la responsabilité des attentats.
Terrorism to that which accounted for the destruction of 7 nuclear power stations.
Washington today, the president received unanimous support for his proposed memorial to the victims of the global plague which has cut down so many promising careers and leaders of tomorrow.